Hey, nice to see you guys back for another episode of WHL Weekly, and if you're new, I welcome you to our little weekly coverage of the WHL. We're going to get right into it here. First off, you heard me been ramping about the Lethbridge Hurricanes probably the past 2 weeks here. Dylan Cousins, they're all just starting to just click. An offensive onslaught from this team, but I really want to take a close look at Oliver Okuliar. Wow, I did not expect this to happen from it at all. If you don't really know too much about Okuliar, he played in the Q last year, ended up I think 14 goals, I think about like 42 points I think at the end of the year for Okuliar. So mediocre, but then he entered the import draft again, this time going to the WHL for Lethbridge. He's already got 15 goals. 15 goals in 18 games. He recently got put alongside Cousins in the past, I think it may have been at the start of this week, and he's already just shown why he's so deserving of it. 2 hat-tricks this week, 7 goals. Do I have to say any more? That's awesome. He's got a whole strangle lead on the WHL in goals, and I don't expect him to stop anytime soon, especially with the roll that the Hurricanes are on. I think 8-0-2 in their last 10. While we're on the topic of, 2 hat-tricks in a row, Brayden Tracey did the exact same thing over in Moose Jaw. After, a crappy end, I'd say, to October, Moose Jaw looked to put it all in the past, and Brayden Tracey has really taken the blunt end of it. He's really taken it seriously. Notched himself 2 hat-tricks this week, including a 4-goal effort against the Rebels. Just wow, the Anaheim Ducks prospect is really looking awesome. A couple of those came on the power play too, and that is a big part of Moose Jaw's game and is looking great right now. 4 for 9 this week. With Ryder Korzak as well, he's finally, I know at the beginning of the year he had a hot start. He's really taken off again here, I think now at 24 points. Really the playmaker behind that team, and he's going to get drafted in 2021. Imagine what he's going to do next year. I still can't believe the Hitmen got rid of him here. I mean, kind of an unexpected resurgence of him. I think he had 15 points in 50 games last year. He's already up to 24 this season. A team I want to touch on this week, because I don't think I've talked about them all year yet, is the Victoria Royals. And there's a reason why I'm not, though. It's because they're kind of playing a really boring game. Like, no offense to them, not much is really happening in Victoria. They're the second lowest scoring team in the WHL next to Swift Current, who I think is last. And this team really, if it weren't for a couple of players, this team would be easily the worst in the WHL. Shane Farkas, the goaltender, is really standing on his head, keeping them alive in a couple of games. And then with defense from Will Warm, their overager, he's been pretty good. I think he's at a +3, 7 points. He's really holding his own, especially against the couple games I watched him play against the Blazers with. He's looking all right out there. Although the situation could be far more dire over there in Victoria. The Prince Albert Raiders are back on track, going undefeated this week. I'm pretty sure they're on a 4-0 streak, if I'm correct. Mainly, like what I said, heavy production from that first line with Protas, Weisblatt, and Watts. Although their depth is starting to shine a little bit more now with players such as Spencer Moe, who notched himself 5 points this weekend, including a 4-point effort against the Regina Pats. I'd say the most impressive thing this team did all week was shut down the red-hot Moose Jaw Warriors again there, limiting them to only 1 goal. Another team I want to take a quick look at, Kelowna. This is a team that, I'm from Kamloops. I'm supposed to hate Kelowna. So it's tough for me to talk about them, and I don't talk about them too much just because there hasn't been too much of them to decipher from. But this week, it's been a bit different. Pavel Novak, who I've seen a couple times play now. At the beginning of his WHL career there, I saw him in the preseason, I saw him in the first couple games with Kelowna. He looks kind of lost, he looked kind of scared. He reminds me a lot though of someone like Elias Pettersson. Small, skinny, about the same size of Pettersson when he was drafted, maybe a bit shorter, but now he's really starting to take off. He looks a lot better out there. He had 6 points this weekend, including a hat trick. Good for him. Just another hat trick. Tons of them in the WHL this week. It's almost like it's the OHL with the amounts of scoring. But, he's looking a lot more confident out there, especially being placed alongside Nolan Foote, who, even last year, completely underrated. Played the entire season with a broken wrist, and he almost scored 40 goals. He is really off to a good start this year, too. He's also got a ton of assists. Real good power forward. Tampa Bay really got a gem taking him at like 29th or something, 27th. He was taken pretty late. And without further ado, let's just start getting into the top players here. This one was a really tough one this week because so many players had absolutely stunning weeks, but I had to make some cuts, so I went with the ones who just had the outright best performances, and that's going to be Pavel Novak, Oliver Okuliar, and Brayden Tracey. All these players securing at least 1 hat trick this week. 2 of them got 2, 1 including a 4-goal game. I already said who all did it. You guys know, these guys are well deserving of it. Now into the top teams, pretty self-explanatory for most of them, that being Lethbridge and Prince Albert and Kelowna. And then I'm going to throw Vancouver in there, just because, they're kind of finally resurging. They beat the tough Medicine Hat Tigers and the Tri-State Americans to get on a nice polite 2-game win streak. Maybe that'll spark something. Spark Bowen Byram, spark Sordif again. Let's see what they can do. Although this was quite an explosive week with the goal scoring, I hope it keeps up. I don't want it to be absolute Civ City like it is in the OHL, but I like seeing a couple more goals for a change. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.